such as the mobile middleware company, I took a job at a 13-year-old company that sold Wi-Fi access points, and they were competing with Cisco. So they were sort of failing at that time. They couldn't sell against Cisco because Cisco owned a lot of the hardware in the enterprise, and they could discount Wi-Fi down a lot, and these guys couldn't really compete. Also, they had very bad Gartner positioning. They just had really bad Gartner reporting, and the CIO, who had the budget to buy Wi-Fi within the enterprise, trusted or at least used the Gartner advice and analyst advice to make decisions on purchases, and so their Gartner positioning was a big problem. Now, so I took the job. I was living on Back Bay on Marlborough Street and Exeter. On Marlborough and Exeter. So like 2 blocks from the Peru. I was a couple of blocks from the Charles River to go for a run, and I could walk into town. I used to have a car, and I parked the car in the back of my brownstone there by the Charles, and I drove out to the office in Burlington every day, sometimes on the weekend, sometimes on a Sunday. And I remember long drives back into Boston City at night, where there was just traffic coming into the city, coming to the bridge, and I just remember sitting in the car a lot, coming back from Burlington. So again, one of my first days, I sat with the engineers, and they explained to me the issue, and that they had virtualized a component of the technology, so it was in the cloud. And we felt that there was a good green message there, that the CIO, a part of their agenda for the year is to hit the green quota, to spend a certain amount of their budget on green technology, and we sort of fit in that category because of this management component, and we didn't have as much hardware as Cisco. So the first thing I did was try to fix their Gartner positioning. So I looked at their reporting, and anytime there was a report where we weren't portrayed correctly, I talked to the analyst, explained to them that this was actually what we were about, and the technology we had and how we were expanding, and they changed the report each time. So that was a great thing. Then I worked on changing the messaging, creating an absolutely gorgeous visual identity. The website was amazing at that time, really, really great, and just layered, perfectly, effortlessly layered messaging. And we worked on that. Then we went to, Network World and Information Week, and a lot of the IDG pubs and other publications as well had an analyst ecosystem also, and these bloggers who blogged about different technologies. So we started to comment on their blogs and reach out to them directly, and to bring them onto webinars, so that we were, creating a buzz in the market as this new approach to Wi-Fi. And by doing that, now Gartner has to keep themselves honest. They have to report correctly on the market. So, they had to notice us, and they had to look at us differently. So then I started working with Gartner. I put some of the marketing budget into working with them directly, and we went out to the Gartner office and worked with them on strategy. Tim Zimmerman was the analyst there at the time, and he ended up giving me a recommendation for my LinkedIn afterwards. It was a really good project. Once we got our Gartner positioning shifted into Visionary over a 6-month period, which is amazing. The sales changed. They could really sell, and they had a good story against Cisco, and sales went up, and they ended up selling the company to Adtran. And just before